Lecture Part 2. Emission of beta particle and its region. So after beta discharge from nucleus, atomic mass remain unchanged but atomic number increase by 1. So why this beta particle emits and their atomic mass remain unchanged and atomic number increase by 1? So why? So what happened in nucleus? One neutron converted to one proton, one electron, basically beta particle, and one antineutrino. So we know that atomic mass is equal to neutron plus proton. And here what happened? Uh, one neutron is decreasing, number of one neutron is decreasing from nucleus and increasing by one proton. So total atomic mass is same, neutron plus proton plus same, because one is increasing and one is decreasing. But what happened to the atomic number? Proton is increases by 1. So earlier it was 6, now it is 7. So now carbon converted to nitrogen. That's why, and one beta particle, this beta particle is this ejected electron or beta particle. This is the beta particle. So one neutron is converted to one proton, one electron, one antineutrino. This one electron is basically beta particle and one proton is basically which is due to which the atomic number has been increased. So and one antineutrino. Atomic mass remains same because atomic mass is equal to neutron plus proton. After beta particle ejection, neutron decreased by 1 and proton increased by 1. So the total atomic mass remains same. Emission of gamma ray and its reason. So after emission of gamma ray from nucleus, atomic mass and atomic number remains unchanged. Only changed in energy of nucleus. So what happened? This is the excited nucleus. So after alpha particle or beta particle ejection, nucleus is in excited state. So it will release some energy for getting stability, and that energy is gamma ray. And gamma ray is a basically electromagnetic wave, and they release this energy in form of photon. So the nucleus remains in excited state after the alpha or beta particle ejection. For getting stability, nucleus emits some energy in form of gamma rays. So here one example is there. Like there is parent nucleus cobalt 60. So cobalt 60 releasing one beta particle. Here is a beta particle. So it's then in converted to nickel 60. But it is in excited state after releasing one beta particle. So it releases some amount gamma energy for getting stability. So this is the reason of the releasing of gamma ray. Radioactive decay series. So decay through a sequence of alpha beta decays until a stable nucleus is achieved. So one element is transferred to another because is going through some decay, like there is alpha decay, beta decay. So during decay, it's form very unstable radioactive elements. So they goes through a series. Like most radioactive isotopes don't decay directly to a stable state, but rather undergo a series of decay until eventually the stable isotope is reached. So until it is reached to a stable isotope, it will decay. And the natural radioactive decay series are, there is three decay series naturally. Uranium series, and it is also called 4n plus 2, and thorium series, it is called 4n, and actinium series, it is called 4n plus 3. So first decay series is uranium series. So uranium is decaying, uranium 238 is decaying like this, like uranium, thorium, then it is in like this way, and at last stage it make a stable non-radiogenic isotope lead 206. So after ejecting one alpha particle, uranium-238 converts to thorium. Means 238 minus 4, one alpha particle, 232, and atomic number decreased by 2. So it is 90. 90 means is thorium. So thorium isotope. Then 234, 90 converts to 234 Pa 91 after one ejecting beta particle. So what happened? After ejecting one beta particle, atomic mass is same, but atomic number is increased by 1, that is 91. So at final, 238 uranium converts to lead 206. This is what? This is the last product. So a stable non-radiogenic element is formed. Stable non-radiogenic isotope. This is the end member of the decay series, and this is the first member. So by this way, this is decaying. Like these elements will form to decay this one, to form this one. Like from uranium 238 uranium to 206 Pb. So these inter isotope intermolecule are inter elements will form. So how many alpha and beta particle uh, was ejected to form uranium to lead, uranium 238 to lead 206? So here 8 alpha particle and 6 beta particle ejected, like alpha alpha alpha. If you calculate the total number of alpha particle, then it will be 8, and if we calculate the total number of beta particle, then it will be 6. So why this is called 4n plus 2 series? So this is called 4n plus 2 series because if we divided the atomic mass of all elements like 238, 234, 234 and 230, if we divided by 4, then there will be a remainder of 2. Means if we divided this atomic mass uh, by 4, then there will be a remainder of 2. Like if we divided this 214 lead, then there will be a remainder of 2. So like if we divide it, here is one example. Like each of this element will give this same 4n plus 2. Like if we divided by lead, radon, uranium, all will give 2 remainder. Like if we divided atomic mass of thorium by 4, then there is a remainder of 2. Like if we divided 234 by 4, then there will be a remainder of 2. So that's why it is called 4n plus 2. Thorium series. Thorium series, this is also called 4n series. So 4n. So after ejecting 6 alpha particle and 4 beta particle, this is the thorium series. Thorium 232 is converted to ultimately like 208 lead. So this is the whole decay series. So how many beta particle and alpha particle it ejected? So it ejected 6 alpha particle. If we calculate the total number of alpha particle, then there will be 6 alpha particle and 4 beta particle. So this happened in 10 steps, like 6 plus 4 is 10 steps. So thorium 232 90 converted to a non-radiogenic lead 208. This is another isotope. Like here we have seen the 206 isotope of lead, and here is 208 isotope of lead, non-radioactive 208 element. So non-radioactive. So each element of this series divided by 4. So it is called 4n series. That means if we divided the atomic mass of each element, it will be divided by 4. So there will be no remainder. So all the atomic mass like 232, 228, 220, they all are divided by 4. So this is called 4n series. That's why. Actinium series. This is also called 4n plus 3 series. So here uranium 235 is converted to 207 lead. Means this is another isotope. Like here here is a 206 isotope, a 208 isotope, and here a 207 isotope. And these are all the steps for getting this. So this is called 4n plus 3, because if we divided the atomic mass of all elements of this series by 4, then there will be a remainder of 3. Like we divided the atomic mass of thorium 231 by 4, then there is a remainder of 3. For all, this is same. Like 4, if we divided by 4, then we will get a remainder of 3. Calculation of ejected alpha and beta particle. So here, this is the formula. Total. So if we calculate the how many alpha particle has been ejected. So here is the formula of each series. They will apply for, they are the same for all the series. So total ejected alpha particle, so is equal to atomic mass of first element. Here atomic mass of first element, like for this actinium series, so atomic mass of first element, that is 235, and atomic mass of end element, means atomic mass of end element 207, 207, and atomic mass of alpha particle, which is 4. Atomic mass of alpha particle 4 He2. So that means atomic mass of alpha particle. Total ejected beta particle is atomic number of end element. Atomic number. Here is not mass. Atomic number. So atomic number of end element is 82. So atomic number of alpha particles means we will get the total number of alpha particles from here minus atomic number of first element. Means here is atomic number of first element. So one example is here. For uranium series, total ejected alpha particle. So for uranium series, uranium is decaying to lead. So atomic mass of uranium is 238 here for that uranium isotope. And for that lead isotope, atomic mass is 206 divided by atomic mass of alpha particle, which is 4. So that is 8. For uranium series, total ejected alpha particle is 8. So here we can see that total number of ejected alpha particle, 8 alpha particle, total 8. So 238 minus 206 by 4, and total ejected beta particle is atomic number of end element, that is lead, and atomic number of lead is 82 into number of alpha particle, it is 8, into 2 minus atomic number of first element, that is 92. Atomic number of uranium is 92, and the answer is 6, and which is same as earlier. Mass defect. Then what is mass defect? Mass defect is the difference between the actual atomic mass and the number calculated by adding the mass of proton, neutron, and electrons present in the nucleus. The actual atomic mass is less than mass calculated by the adding these masses of proton, neutron, and electron, which are basically called nucleons, like proton, neutron, and electrons, which are called nucleons. So, and this is called mass defect. Like if we measure the if we measure the atomic mass of an atom, if we measure the mass of an atom, then what we can see, that mass of that atom is lower than the mass of the electron, proton, neutron. Like if we calculate the mass of the electron, proton, neutron by adding this all mass of electron, proton, neutron, then it will be, what we can see, that the mass of atom is lower than the all this total mass. So mass defect is mass of proton, neutron, and electron. If we add all this mass, then minus actual mass of atom. Like what is the actual mass? So here is one example. Hydrogen 2. So mass of an proton is 1.007276 MeV, and this is the mass of a neutron, and here is the mass of an electron. So if we add up all these masses, like electron, proton, electron, neutron, proton, so what we will get, like 2.016490 mu. But if we measure the total mass of the atom, total mass, if we measure, then what is the mass? Like 2.014, which is lower than this. If we total the mass of electron, proton, neutron, then their mass is higher than the uh, uh, actual mass of the atom. So why this is happen? Like if when it's form an atom like electron, neutron, and proton, then why this mass uh, has been decreases? So mm, so there is a mass defect of mass defect is equal to like 2.016490 minus 2.014102 is equal to this. This is a mass defect. Mean that mass of proton, neutron, and electron minus the actual mass. This is the actual mass. So we will get mass defect. So this is the mass defect. So mass defect. So why this mass defect is there? So when a nucleus is formed, sum of mass is converted to energy, and this result in the mass defect. So when a nucleus is formed, like when an atoms form this proton, electron, neutron, so they need some energy to bind this all these. So when a nucleus is formed, they need some energy. So this mass is converted to energy. So this amount of mass converted to energy, and that energy helps to bind the nucleus. So from which formula tells us that this mass is converted to energy? This is Einstein E is equal to mc square. Here E is equal to energy, m is equal to mass, c is the velocity of light. So here we can calculate the energy, how much energy is there. Like if there is mass defect, this amount of mass defects, then we can calculate that how much is energy is there. Like so, there this energy also called nuclear binding energy. Like this is the nuclear binding energy. So here we can see that this is the nucleus after binding. So if we release that binding energy, then this is the separate nucleon, it's greater mass. Like if we calculate the energy by separately, we will get greater mass. But if we calculate this, only this, but it has also binding energy. So you will get smaller mass. If we separately calculate them, then we will get greater mass. So what happened? This amount of mass is converted to energy. Means so if the mass is converted to energy, then mass will decrease. That amount of mass will be decreased. So nuclear binding energy binds the neutron and proton tightly in nucleus. So it helps to bind the proton and neutron in nucleus.